Thanks for joining. So, a few years ago, I was in a car accident. I was T-boned, really messed up my back, and obviously it was a frustrating situation. But the back thing has kind of plagued me a little bit since then. Not as much because I was already doing Pilates. It just kind of, slowed things down a little bit. But anyway, so being in the car for a long time or sitting for a long time makes it a little angry. And we were in the car for about 4 hours yesterday, so we went skating a couple hours away at a skate park. And, the skating part, of course, ton of fun. And, being in the car makes it feel a little crispy. So, and then my hip flexors are pretty lit up from skating. So we're gonna focus on that. The moves today, still classic mat Pilates moves, but the focus is gonna be on that. So some of the moves will go a little bit slower just to call a little more attention to it, to both the back and then the hip flexors. So we're still going to start with a little bit of a warm-up. We're going to start with a C-curve spine, and this is both just to kind of loosen up the low back, it's to warm up the upper body, and to get our breathing ready. It's going to be about 30 minutes. So we'll get started with the C-curve spine. We're going to put our feet into the floor, hold on to the knees, and then start rolling your tailbone under your hips and let your arms totally lock out. Okay, so you're holding on to your knees, you round your shoulders forward, tuck your chin, and take 3 big breaths in this position. So you'll inhale and then exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. And then we'll add a little movement with the arms with the breathing. So we'll inhale and push forward. Always makes my spine like boom, all the way up. Feels really good. Tuck your chin and then roll back. And then inhale forward. And exhale, roll back. Inhale forward, and exhale back. Okay, just feels really nice. You should feel things loosening up in the top of the back as well. So we're going to turn over, come into a plank position, open up your hands so you have a nice stable surface, and then saw forward. Try to bring your shoulders over your wrists without dipping your hips. And then saw back, so you're pushing into your calves, pushing into your heels, or stretching your calves. And then dip your knees, and then crawl your hands back into a primitive squat. Okay, so this is opening up the hips. If you don't land right on your heels, don't worry about it. Just use your hands to kind of support you on the floor, and then we're going to roll back out. Nice and even into plank position. Push forward, shoulders over wrists, try to go even further. Press back into the heels. Dip your knees. Right back. Hopefully there feels a little bit warmer than the first one. And then we're going to do that one more time. Push forward, shoulders over wrists. Press back into the heels. Again, good calf stretch. You should feel these in your quads too. If you're like, my legs are tired, that's the point. And then hips. Go ahead and tuck your chin a little bit. Okay. And then I always safely have a seat, so have a seat, but I'm going to have to reposition myself back over here. Okay. And then last one, we want to hold ourselves nice and tight, okay? So in mat Pilates specifically, there's nothing passive happening. There's no idle stretching going on. Everything has a role. So with a warm up like this, I just try to spotlight those parts a little bit before we get into the moves, which, you know, I'll also spotlight things when we get there too. But here I'm holding myself tight, I'm pulling my elbows close to my body, engaging my biceps mostly. And then you should feel a nice release from your low back, all the way up through your rounded shoulders. And you're able to take a full breath, so you're able to breathe. Okay, keep doing that. Keep holding yourself tight. Okay, and I want you to keep holding yourself and then round the toes forward and just start warming up the tops of the feet this way. And I know it looks silly. People say it looks like a cat, making biscuits. But it is to kind of warm up your toes, your arches of your feet. They play an active role in the extension of the leg, and the muscles that you have to use to engage in the move fully, and they need to be warmed up. Okay, so this is a good way to do it. And then after we do that for a moment, bring your feet back to flexing, and if you can, grab your feet. And I say can because I have people who cannot do this, whether they don't have the mobility, or if you're pregnant, like you might have to do this, or if you just don't have the mobility. But no matter what, try to flex your feet, like curl your toes towards your shins, and then you want to feel this part light up, your shins, your tibs, light those up. Okay. All right. So I went a little bit out of order than what I normally do on those warm-ups, which is spice of life, it's fine. But we are going to start with the 100. I want you to come to the floor, pull your low back into the floor, keep your knees bent for now, and then squeeze your butt. You just let your hands relax in your stomach for now. We're just going to do a few reps, a few rounds of the 100 breathing, and then we're going to go right into the 100. We'll do the first few to several moves of the sequence, and then I'll mix it up a little bit because, again, the focus is on the lit up hip flexors and then kind of the cranky back from sitting. Again, from being in an accident, it was not like that before. Okay, so inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And okay, and this is not, again, some passive, calming down move. It's the dynamic warm-up of Pilates. So here's where I encourage everyone, people who are in here all the time, people who are new, myself included, if my back feels like it needs a little extra support, I'll start in the table position. Shins are parallel to the floor, but I'm still arching my feet. I'm still keeping my glutes tight. I'm rounding the head and shoulders up, eyes looking at your belly button. And if I feel good about it, I'll extend my legs and then I'll bring them down. But again, don't let your back arch, okay? So we'll start pumping and breathing. And in. And in. And in. 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 Good. Rest. Okay, roll up today. I'm going to start where we start. Feet are flexed, arms overhead, nice long reach first. Make sure the backs of the hands are connected to the floor. And again, my back is naturally arching. Naturally, I emphasize. Okay, pull the low back into the floor and engage those deep abs. Keep the legs locked. And then inhale and exhale. In. Now, if that felt like awkward or strained in any way, I would just start from the end and work my way back, but it feels really nice. The 100 did as the 100 does, and that then warms up your abs for sure. Kind of took the emphasis off the back right away. Okay, so then scoot down a little bit. Go into the roll over. I love how these feel when my back feels kind of tight, because you are essentially stretching. You are stretching, and a lot of the moves in Pilates have the word stretch in them. But the thing that can't get lost is that you are strengthening. Like, you have been strengthening and you are strengthening, and the stretching is also happening. So, I tell people it's like a weak rubber band. You're not trying to stretch a weak rubber band. Okay, you're trying to reinforce the flexibility. Okay, so bring the palms up through the shoulders, anchored to the floor. Pull the low back in. Okay, keep the legs together, moving as one. And we inhale and exhale. I'm not going to take these fast today. Just again, right here, that stretch, while keeping the legs fully locked and keeping the shoulders to the floor. Very important. Always make sure you're lifting your legs with your back pressed to the floor, your glutes are tight. And your toes are pointed. Last one, this way, and then we'll switch formats. And then as you get a little more fatigued in the move, really good to check in and make sure you're not bouncing up right around here. You're pushing into the floor with your anchored arms and shoulders, and then using those abs. Two more. Okay, land with control. Always make sure you have enough lift in you to land with control. You're never sloppy or flapping. So then we'll go into the leg circle. Nobody asked, but this is one of my favorite moves. It's just so good. Again, it's easy to get kind of zenned out on these, but they also will wake you up at the same time. Okay, pull the low back into the floor, make sure the hips are even. Anchor leg is locked out. Your arms are doing the same thing. They get no rest between the rollover and the leg circle. And then bring it down, kind of across your opposite leg. out as far as you can go without tilting. And again, this leg stays fully locked out the whole time. So again, you're not stretching anything, like you're empowering this leg. You're using all the muscles in the leg to support the hip movement. It's not the hip supporting the leg. Opposite direction. Set that foot down. Not much reset here, just set it down. Hips stay right where they are. Anchor arms and shoulders stay right where they are. You're gonna cross and again, nothing is passive. Your shoulders are engaged down through the palms. Your deep ab muscles, again, no reprieve for them, which is fine, they can handle it. Opposite direction. There was a time, like right after the accident, when my back was so bad that I would have to have my anchor leg bent. So, you know, if you're like, my back is so tight and I feel like if, you know, try to get my range, you know, it hurts, or, you know, if your hip is popping and like it doesn't hurt, like that's pretty normal. But if you feel strain anywhere around here, then bend that anchor leg. Okay, let's roll like a ball. And again, I told you we're going to do a little remix of the moves. So we'll do this. Try to get as much roll, spine massage as you want, or as you can. Okay, and then come back onto the back. So I was saying we're going to come into the one leg and double leg stretch, and then we're going to go back to the leg circles for a moment and do a snappy set, because now the back should be feeling really good. Mine is. This happens all the time. So I'm going to bring the right knee in, hold it tight. Again, earlier when we did the warm up, and I had you hold yourself in a little ball nice and tight. Elbows are in, okay? And then your opposite leg is like a dart. You're shooting for that target each time, okay? Inhale and in, 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 and in. Quick rest. Again, make sure you're holding firmly onto the knees when you bring them in. Okay, your arms are doing just as much work as your legs, and everything is coming from the center, or the powerhouse. Okay, this is your powerhouse. This, knees. Okay, we have 12. The double leg, just like in the 100. If you're feeling, you know, some strain or pressure on the low back, just come here. Okay, then here, and then slowly work down to here. Okay. Start in this position. Inhale, and then tight. Inhale. In. 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 Halfway. In. 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 In, 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 hold, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Yeah, I threw that in there. Hollow body hold. Okay, let's go right back to the leg circle, and then we'll come up for spine stretch. Okay, we go 5, and opposite. Three, 2, 1, and then bring it back in, roll right back up. This is what I say, grab a quick drink. If you're doing all the breathing, all that inhaling and exhaling, and it doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you're breathing, as long as you're trying, as long as you're being able to move through the move while not holding your breath. Okay, that's the main thing to get started with. Spine stretch. Flex your feet. Sit up tall. Make sure the feet are about mat width apart. You don't really want to go any wider than that today. We're not doing pancakes. Okay. Push the hips forward. Walk out as far as you can go. Okay, again, don't let the knees pop up. Okay, tuck your chin. And 3 breaths. Take 3 breaths in this position. Try to get even further each time. And inhale. And exhale. Get all the way out there. And in. And inhale. And we'll scoot up just slightly on the mat, depending on where you're at. If you have something behind you, try not to hit it. Bring your toes together. Open leg rocker. Again, make sure you have control here in the balance. Your legs are totally locked out. Okay, you can round the back, and you can also push the hips forward. Okay, round the back so you can rock, and then start pushing the hips forward so you can balance. And bring your legs together. And those feel a little shaky to me today because of these. So it's always good to check yourself on the first part. You know, can I balance? Can I keep control of my legs before I add motion to it? So after this, we'll go into corkscrew. So bring your legs to center, roll back. Okay, arms are your anchors again. You can widen your arms a little bit on this one for a little more stability. Okay, because, and I'm taking these really slow today because mostly just because they feel nice. So you turn as far as you can over into one hip. Shoulders do not leave the floor. Turn forward, so you're kind of massaging the upper glute. Turn to the opposite side, so massage the hip. Turn onto the back, massage the lower back. Okay, that's essentially what's happening. A lot of people, when they do these, are like, yeah, right, all I can think about are my burning hip flexors. Try to focus on that part, the focus, the goal. Sometimes it feels really strange to do these so slow, but and again, the legs must move as one. We do 3, and we turn to the opposite side. The legs must move as one. You can cross your ankles. for a little more support if you need. Almost there. Last one. Back to center, knees in, roll back up. And we're going into saw. Arms up and out. Legs are doing the same thing we did for spine stretch. Okay, take a big inhale, push the hips forward. Exhale, connect to the hand. Make sure you're looking behind you. Push the arm up. And 1, 2, 3. And inhale, exhale, opposite side. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Make sure this hand and arm stay connected. 2, 3. Inhale. And one more each. In and in and I always like to go up, overhead for one more long stretch, and then one more forward stretch. Okay, those and the spine stretch are very unassuming. They don't seem like they would be as intense as they are, but that's how a lot of this is. It should be a little more intense than you would think. So now we're going to go into a side kick series, and these are really excellent for so many things. Like, you know, pretty much no matter where you're at in like a recovery, again, or in a pregnancy, or you know, you're just kind of trying to do something extra low impact, but impactful at the same time. So you want to make sure you're anchored, head into the hand. You can always do this. Make sure the palm is to the floor though, because again, all these things that aren't moving are your anchors. Okay, hand on the back of the head, elbow is up, and then bottom foot is your anchor out in front. Top leg is the moving limb, is the only moving thing. We're gonna go with some pulses first to kind of establish our range of motion. Okay, I'm going to turn a little bit this way so we can make sure I have my, okay. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bring it back. Okay, stretch the hip flexor back, but keep everything else right where it is. Pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And since we are doing what we're doing today, we're going to do 8 kicks. We're going and then right into side bicycle. Okay, so bring the knee up, squeeze the calf toward the hamstring, shoot the leg out, bring it back, calf toward the hamstring, and back up, and then let it flow. Keep the elbow up. I keep looking up, check in, make sure the elbow stays up, it's not moving with the leg. Okay, and then we're going in reverse. So we did 5, we're doing 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then I like to do a thing called side scissors. Bring that top foot in front of the bottom foot. Toes are pointed. We inhale, exhale, inhale for 8, 2, in, 3, in, 4, in, 5, in, 6, in, 7, in, 8. And then one more thing today that I like to do on these is a rainbow. Bring it as far forward as you can, up, and then behind, touch the toe to the back for 5. Again, keep that elbow up, and no pain. You don't have to force, you know, your hip mobility. It's just wherever you can keep the leg fully locked out and in control. No, I lost count. I think this is 5. They come fast. Okay, good. In between those, we're going to do swan dive, okay? So we're going to turn onto the stomach. Remember what side you're on. That happens all the time. Like I already started this side, I already did this side. Okay, I start on my left a lot. Push the toes to the floor. Make sure the hands are above the ribs. And then push up and away. Open up those shoulders. Make sure the legs stay totally locked out. And then lower, lift those legs. This is the prep. Moves like this have really come in handy when the back is really tight. Okay, you want to kind of do the opposite of what a lot of people do, and that's like roll forward and fold forward and, you know, stretch the low back. This is strengthening the low back. Okay, it just feels really good to be in this position. Okay, keep the glutes flexed, and now we're going to lift into that strong swan dive motion. We're going to work on pump, so keep the arms on the floor, but then and you can keep doing this, or we're going to full swan. Then rest. And then we come up and over to the opposite side. Okay. Anchor, anchor, anchor. Okay, belly button stays drawn in. Top leg is extended out. And when we're pulsing first, forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Woo, back, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is my tighter side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bicycles. Bring the knee up, shoot the leg out, bring it back, squeeze calf to hamstring, bring it up. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, bring it reverse, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, scissors. So the anchor leg, you just want it in front of the hip, because it just helps with balance. So I'm bringing mine back a little bit because it was a little high up. Okay, 8. So we go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then rainbows. Bring it out and then up and back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, after that, we're going to do neck pull, but I'm going to start from the end. Like I brought up with the roll up. The neck pull is just the more intense version of the roll up. So I always tell people, if you have issues doing the roll up, I mean, neck pull is a long way away then, but in this sequence, what we're doing today, if you had issues with it at the beginning, you know, just keep working on the roll up. Don't worry about the neck pull. Okay, so we go forward, you feel that nice stretch through the back of the hamstrings, Bring the hands to the back of the head, elbows are out, belly button is drawn in, and you're folded flat as much as you can. And then we'll inhale and exhale, go slightly back. Elbows come in. And then inhale, come up, and exhale. And inhale, and exhale, go back a little bit more. Inhale, and yes, of course you'll slide a little bit, but you don't want to jerk. Okay, especially when we get lower like that, keep those feet flexed and anchored into the ground. Going a little bit further, this is probably going to be the hardest one. Inhale, exhale, up, 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 up. Hands have to stay on the head. If you're doing these, if they pop off, just practice a roll up. Okay, we're going all the way forward, and then up, and then roll all the way back. Arms open, or elbows open, and we'll go into the full move. So we inhale and exhale. Gradually up. Inhale, exhale. A little bit further. Inhale and exhale. A little further. Inhale, exhale all the way. Inhale and exhale all the way back. Inhale, exhale all the way up. Slow, 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 slow. Control. Make sure everything is doing what it needs to be doing. Inhale and exhale. Last one. And rest. Okay. So after those, again, you have to use a lot of the hip flexors on those. You wouldn't think so until you do them, and you're like, oh yeah. So again, when my legs are lit up like that because of skating or because of like a heavy lifting, Pilates has helped a lot because it's it can be it's still activity, and you're not obviously resting it, but you don't want to be stretching weak or broken down muscles where you're calling attention to them, and that's been like one of the like biggest discoveries with doing Pilates, and then again you can do it wherever. So after that, we're going to go into just this leg pull first, leg pull front. And we're doing 5 each leg, so come high up onto the plank position, and your neutral position, you're not forward like we were earlier, okay? Settle yourself on one ball of your foot, extend the opposite leg, keep the belly button drawn in, lift the leg as high as you can without, picking up the hips or turning in any way, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Normally those alternate. Right now we're not doing that. Extend, lift, 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 and 5. Glutes are tight. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay? I try to not go to the floor in between, going right into the opposite leg pull. Turn your hands, lift the chest at the hips, extend the legs, and then we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, opposite, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we will finish with a set of swimming. and then push-ups. Push the hips into the floor, lift the legs, lift the arms in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Come up into your forward fold position. Give me 3, 1, 2, 3, and back. Take a deep breath. Again, like I do with my classes, my clients. Come to center, reach the arms through for one more stretch. Take a big inhale. Exhale into a primitive squat. Again, like earlier, hopefully it's feeling a little warmer. You're able to get your heels to or closer to the floor. Reach forward. Take a deep breath in. Reach up. Exhale. I probably disappeared, so I'll come back here. All right, thanks for being here for this. Feel a lot better, just like always. And it's fun to focus on, little spots that, can kind of make or break your day. But to start the day with this, knowing I've got, lifting training later, clients coming up, activities in the afternoon, it's good to pay attention to that stuff and not just, again, passively let it go. So, hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next